Hi everybody, my name is Alexander Statilko, and we are starting a series of programs about affiliate marketing that will offer helpful information, guidance, and useful advice to all those who want to earn money on the internet. We are used to the fact that top webmasters do not share their experience and real case studies on how they make real money, and it makes sense. But where do we turn to learn how to make over $10,000 a month on the web? Together with City Ads Media, we've decided to change the status quo, and I'm sure that our programs will become your trusted guide in the field of affiliate marketing. I will invite to the studio well-known and, what is even more valuable, little-known webmasters and practitioners who really know how to succeed in this difficult field. Here's one of them. Hi, Sergey.
Hi, Sasha.
Today's program is all about traffic arbitration. One of the channels for paid traffic is Yandex Direct. In Russia and in the countries of the former Soviet Union, Yandex Direct firmly holds its place as the most popular pay-per-click platform. If you want to earn money through affiliate marketing in the increasingly profitable Eastern European market, it's a good idea to get to know Yandex, Russia's leading search engine. The advertising model of Yandex Direct is very similar to Google AdWords. Your ads are displayed according to your bidding strategy, and you get charged every time someone clicks on your ad. However, as you get deeper into the details, you will discover that in some ways, Yandex is very different from Google. And today we will talk about this with Sergey Uleev, a specialist in traffic mining at Yandex Direct. Sergey, let's start with this. How did you manage to reach such a degree of success in such a short time in traffic arbitration? What's your secret?
I think that the secret of success in traffic arbitration is hard work and deep analysis.
Can you tell us about that in a little more detail?
Well, to talk about it in more detail, we can look at a general system of transferring traffic to offers in an affiliate network. I've prepared a few slides on my computer, and we can take a look at those. So on this slide, called Transferring Traffic to Offers in an Affiliate Network, we can see that it all begins, of course, with the source of traffic. We direct traffic either to a redirect page or a pre-landing page, or to an aggregator of financial offers. Next, regardless of which channel the traffic came through, it goes into our tracker. We also use retargeting codes from various social networks and search engines. We do all this in order to be able to show ads to these visitors again in the future, and thus be able to monetize this same traffic in several more cycles. On the next slide, we can see that inside the tracker, we're forming a unique sub-ID, which then is transferred to an affiliate network. The affiliate network has its own working infrastructure, but right now we won't look at it in detail. In the end, the most important thing is that from the affiliate network we get the sub-IDs, which we will then use to perform target actions that are of interest to us. These sub-IDs once again go into our tracker, where we can use our specific software to generate all kinds of reports for analytics. We get these reports by using information from the source of traffic through API, as well as information from the pre-landing page or offer aggregators databases, and from the tracker database.
As far as I know, you prefer to work with financial offers. Tell me please, what pre-landing pages do you use for that?
Yes, you're right. We mostly work with financial offers, and if I remember correctly, a large number of these financial offers comes from City Ads. I can also show a slide with an example of one of the aggregators for financial offers. Here is a slide called Example of an Aggregator of Financial Offers. Here we see a typical pre-landing, which by the way can be seen quite often on the internet. Here you have a range of credit offers. This pre-landing has its own database and is tied to a geographic location. This means that we only see those financial offers that are relevant to the region in which the visitor is located.
Sergey, let's now talk about this. At this point, a webmaster who doesn't use his own system of analytics or doesn't analyze the traffic that he attracts naturally is at a disadvantage. Tell me which methods and what instruments for tracking traffic do you personally use?
Of all the traffic tracking instruments, I would pick marking links with UTM markers as absolutely necessary. By the way, I also have a slide called Marking Links with UTM Markers. Here we can see how much the parameters of UTM markers can differ from one another depending on the source of traffic. Also, it is absolutely necessary to use the tracker. On the slide called List of Trackers, you can see the list of the most widely known trackers. I've marked in red those trackers that we use ourselves. And of course, another indispensable tool is postback from the affiliate network. On the next slide, we can see the settings for postback from CityAd's affiliate network.
Let's now talk specifically about Yandex Direct. As far as I know, Yandex Direct is one of the most stable sources of traffic, and it's a source of traffic that can be targeted precisely to a specific target audience. But most webmasters miss such important moments as analytics and optimization of ad campaigns. Tell me please, how do you set up your ad campaigns?
Creation of an ad campaign can be divided into several stages. Each stage is an art in itself. Here on the slide called The Stages of Setting Up an Ad Campaign, we can take a look at these stages. Everything starts with gathering general keywords. That is when you gather those keywords or key phrases which people can use to search online for your products or services. Then you group these keys in order to separate the more targeted traffic from the less targeted traffic. Then the next stage is parsing these keywords and key phrases. That's when, using special software, we can get all kinds of different phrases using WordStat. The next stage is forming exceptions. I'd like to note that it's almost the most important stage which determines the effectiveness of your ad campaign. You must properly write out single minus words or exceptions for the entire campaign and properly define mid-phrase exceptions. The next stage is creating ads where you write the heading of the ad, the text of the ad, insert links, quick links, etc. The next stage is uploading these ads in Yandex Direct. Then the next stage is setting the parameters where you can choose the strategy of ad placement, write out the Yandex business card, and set up other parameters. The next stage is launching the ad campaign. I put it down as a separate stage because the launch of a campaign can take some time, 1, 2, or several days. That is because not all ad campaigns can immediately pass moderation, and you might have to get in touch with the moderators and find out the reason why a campaign didn't pass. And the last stage, the most important one, is of course analytics and testing. After the launch of the ad campaign, you must understand if your ad campaign is effective or not, and how you can make it more effective than it already is.
Okay, I understand about the stages. Now tell me, are there any special devices that you use at Yandex Direct?
There are no devices per se, and there is no special secret of creating clickable ads. Everything depends on how effectively you set up your ad campaign. Here too we can use an example. On the next slide, we see an ad based on the phrase Vacation Tours 2014. Here we see that the keyword is repeated both in the heading and in the text of the ad, and that it includes a call to action. So this ad is composed better than most ads that you see out there in contextual advertising, but as you can see, there is no magic here.
So I understand that this ad uses an ODC model, meaning offer, deadline, call to action.
Yes, and there are several models. I wouldn't say that one must always choose one specific magical model. But the main rule is, of course, repeat the key phrase in the heading and if possible in the text of the ad, and compose the text in such a way that it would separate you from your competitors. So don't repeat exactly what your competitor is saying. Here on the next slide, you can see the statistics on one of our campaigns where in the column CTR, you can see the indicators for each key phrase. So if you set up your ad campaign well and your pricing allows you to pass the criteria for special placement, then you can definitely count on an average CTR of 10 to 15%.
I and many other webmasters are interested in this question. How do you pass moderation at Yandex Direct?
Actually, moderation with us is no problem at all. We work openly. If an ad campaign is denied by moderator, remember that moderators are people too, so call and find out the reason why it was denied. It often happens that your ads are automatically denied by a Yandex robot. So you call, the moderators check it out, and then say, yes, sorry, this is what happened. We will now submit it again for manual moderation. Problems with moderation happen usually for those webmasters who are using questionable methods and create hundreds of accounts on Yandex Direct in order to pass through moderation. We don't do this, and therefore don't have any problems.
Tell me please, how do you set up advertisements in the Yandex ad network?
For Yandex Ad Network, we necessarily create a separate campaign in Yandex Direct, write out separate headings and separate texts. They should be a little more emotionally appealing because a person who saw your ad on some specific site didn't specifically look for you, and to make him click, he must be under some sort of emotional influence. Also, it's absolutely necessary to test the pictures that will be shown on Yandex Ad Network, and in the process of testing, you will notice that out of 10 pictures, 2 or 3 will result in the biggest number of clicks, and going forward, you can concentrate on using mostly those pictures. Also, it's advisable to measure the final result for each picture, meaning the rate of conversion. It happens that a picture works today, works for a whole week, but next week it stops working. People get tired of it, so you need to change the picture, find one that works, and start using that one. Also, an additional piece of advice: when you can, try to track the effectiveness of Yandex Ad Network on each website. And if you see that traffic coming from certain websites does not pay for itself, then stop using those websites.
Sergey, in the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned software. Let's talk about how you use it to track the effectiveness of an ad campaign.
Yes, we have custom-written software for deep analytics. It allows us to run reports on various levels. I can show you a slide with an example of our software interface. Here you can see that we create reports for a specific period and can set parameters according to which we want to create our report. For example, here on the next slide is one of the reports that we create. It is a report by key phrases. The most interesting columns here are the last 3: how much was spent, the revenue, and the return on investment. We can see, phrase by phrase, how much money we've spent, how much we've earned from each phrase, and what is the final ROI. I'd like to direct your attention to the fact that some phrases have ROI of over 100, 200, 300%. There are phrases whose ROI is less than 100%. There are also phrases whose ROI is negative. It is imperative that you track it all and either determine an appropriate price tag for each phrase or turn off altogether the phrases that do not bring any revenue. Also, we can run a report by campaign in order to see more general numbers and understand which ad campaigns bring revenue and which don't. Here on this slide, we can see an example of one of such reports. Here we can also see that there are campaigns whose ROI is more than 100%. There are campaigns whose ROI is less than 100% and where it's negative.
We're all dying for an example of a successful case study from Yandex Direct. Can you give us one?
As an example of a successful case study, I would like to use the one when we directed traffic to financial offers in the Ukraine during the time of political unrest. It was during the months of February and March of 2014. At that time, many webmasters decided not to place ads. They left that market. As a result, the competition decreased, which led to good indicators for us. Let's take a look at a slide that shows general numbers of this successful case study. The expenditures for that period of time were 189,000 rubles. The revenue was 346,000. The net revenue came to about 157,000 rubles. This shows an ROI of 83%. To illustrate, I can show you the specific pre-landing that was used in this case. Also, I can show you statistics by campaign for a certain period, month by month. Here we can see indicators for February and for March. It's worth noting that in February, the price of each click was 4.3 rubles, and in March, each click was worth 3.5 rubles. That is, in March, because there was a strong decrease in competition, the price per click for us decreased. But we received almost 1.5 times more clicks, having paid less for each one. Naturally, this was reflected in our final revenue. As a further example, I can show you one of the ads that kept showing up in our search engine. Here too you can see that there is no magic. You can often see ads like this in various search engines. Also on the next slide, you can see an ad in Yandex Ad Network where the heading and the text are composed differently, and we used a picture. Also, on the next slide, you can see a report specifically by offer. On top, we see offers for February. At the bottom, offers for March. You can see that in March we had less offers, but the resulting ROI in general stayed the same. On the next slide, you can see the payments from the affiliate networks for the month of February. The statistics by offer is also from the affiliate network. This information comes from one of the affiliate networks with which we were working. And the information about payments for the month of March. Here the numbers are much higher. These are the final results shown by each financial offer.
This is a very convincing case. Did you have a lot of these in your practice? And did you have unsuccessful cases?
Of course I had unsuccessful cases too. You can't do without them. You should never go into traffic arbitration thinking that you'll start earning right away. Sometimes we test absolutely every offer in a certain field just to understand which of them work and which don't. Naturally, in the end, we receive very detailed statistics. And so we stop working with unprofitable offers and continue working only with those that bring us revenue. But in order to receive the statistics, you can end up spending a large amount of money. You should understand this, and if you don't have a lot of money to spend at the start, it's unlikely that you'll be able to test all offers.
Tell me then, where can one get this specific experience in setting up ad campaigns? And I don't mean some general information that saturates the internet right now. I mean real, practical experience.
You must follow the news on the internet, must be subscribed to all publications in the field of setting up ad campaigns, whether it's Yandex Direct or Google AdWords or others. I would say it's imperative that you read the entire manual from Yandex Direct, first page to last. This is some serious stuff. You will find a lot of very useful information there. And, well, I guess that's it.
Sergey, the financial niche is oversaturated and is highly competitive. Tell me, how can one still manage to earn real money in this market?
Now we're able to earn also because of the Yandex discount for high volume. If you have high volume, then you can make money just because of the discount. And of course, it's deep analytics. Without it, you can't get anywhere.
Traffic arbitration is a very risky business. Tell me, what strategy of traffic arbitration have you chosen for yourselves?
We stick to the strategy of long-time offers, offers that have long life cycle. This gives us some stability in a very unstable traffic arbitration market.
I understand. Now, in the financial sector, there are many offers. There are microfinancing organizations, there are banks. How do you test these offers?
Well, if we're talking about a threshold of where you should stop, we use the threshold of 3 to 5 times the cost of a lead. That is, we choose a certain offer and we know the cost of a lead on that offer. We set up an ad campaign and spend, let's say, 5 times the cost of that lead. Then we look at our statistics, run our reports. If we see that the indicators are really bad, meaning that even after further optimization of the ad campaign, we won't be able to make any money, then we stop working with that offer. If, however, we see that we're now in the minus, but our experience tells us that we can pull this offer out into the plus category, then we continue to work with it.
Say that I, as a beginner in traffic arbitration, want to get certain conditions in the affiliate networks. How should I position myself in order to get what I want?
You should immediately position yourself as a serious affiliate. It is imperative that you join several affiliate networks in order to later be able to determine which networks offer better conditions for you. Also, you need to establish contact with managers of each affiliate network because I can tell you from personal experience, a good relationship with a manager can lead to exclusive offers and prices.
Sergey, let's talk a little about you. Tell me, how did you get into traffic arbitration?
I was working as a freelancer and was setting up contextual ad campaigns for small businesses. Then I met a partner and we decided to open a contextual advertising agency. But after just a couple of months, we understood that this was not a business model that was of interest to us, and so we started looking at traffic arbitration. What we like about traffic arbitration is that we have complete control over the creation of an ad campaign and analytics, so we don't have to explain to anybody why, for example, this or that site does not get any calls or inquiries. This is not our responsibility, and so we ended up switching entirely to traffic arbitration.
When answering my questions, you more than once said we, not I. Talk to me about how your business is organized. Do you have employees?
I say we because I position myself not as an individual webmaster, but as a web agency, because I do not work alone. Yes, I work with a partner, we have employees, we have established certain business processes. We all have separate responsibilities. There is a person, for example, who analyzes promising trends and offers that have the potential to bring real revenue. This allows us to be able to create an ad campaign in such a way as to be among the first to enter that market. Also, we have separate people whose responsibility is setting up ad traffic. And we have a team of software engineers who are constantly working to improve that proprietary software I was telling you about.
How do you see your further development in affiliate marketing?
Right now, we're looking at local markets. We have several projects where we're working directly according to a CPA model. We consider this specific direction to be a very promising one right now. There you can build more long-lasting relationships with advertisers and earn money not only on attracting clients according to a CPA model, but also you can earn on testing and improving the conversion rate of an advertiser's site, as well as on building a sales department.
In conclusion, do you have any advice for those who are just starting out in traffic arbitration?
For those who are just starting out in traffic arbitration, I would advise to determine what is it that you want to get from arbitration, and how much money you're willing to spend in order to get experience. If you have quit your job and are using your last bit of money in order to go into traffic arbitration, God help you not to lose all of it. So my main advice is to try to get experience in a situation where you have another job that gives you a steady stream of income. And only if you see that you're able to manipulate traffic in such a way that it keeps bringing you revenue, then you can start thinking about dedicating more of your time to traffic arbitration.
Sergey, thank you for coming into our studio. And I'd like to remind our viewers that our guest today was Sergey Uleev, an awesome specialist in mining traffic on Yandex Direct. I am Alexander Statilko. If you want to learn how to earn money in affiliate marketing, keep watching our programs.